Welcome, everybody.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
It's the luckiest episode of all of our episodes.
The luckiest. Why is it our luckiest?
Because it's number 13.
Oh, shit.
We made it. We made it.
Bro, so some bad juju's going to happen today.
No bad juju, man. No,
Dang
nothing. No, nothing like a bad juju.
Man. I kind of hope it does just because I want to see some shit. It's like when people tell me, like, oh, there's a ghost here. Like at this place that I'm at now. It's like, oh, there's a ghost. Like, show me. I want to see it. But strangely enough, once I stop believing in ghosts, I just don't see them anymore.
Oh, shit.
Interesting how that works.
It does. Well, actually, there is something bad happening. I'm doing Sober October. So, completely no alcohol, no weed, no cigars, no cigarettes, nothing. And yet, I'm going to have a beer. But this
I
is...
made no such commitment.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. I'll talk about it a little bit. It is hard. But
I don't mind doing shit that's difficult. That's the thing I don't want to do.
So,
oh, man.
Yeah, so I started doing Sober October about 4 years back. Not every year, though. So last year I didn't do it because, I was still getting acclimated. Oh, this motherfucker is going to... Let me remove my watch, man. This is annoying. On until I leave. Oh, perfect. Apple Watches are the fucking shits.
How does it know when you left?
Because it has location. so it's like
that's pretty cool.
So it's like what did it say? It was very interesting, man. I didn't know that. First of all, Apple Walkie-Talkie. Let me tell you something about that. That's fucking dope. And see, I'm going again on a tangent. Like I was supposed to talk about Sober October, but just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. So first they have this walkie-talkie on the Apple Watch, right? Which is reminds
Power
me.
Rangers?
No, but I never seen Power Rangers.
Oh, you never seen Power Rangers? They go.
Nah, the closest I got to Power Rangers was Voltron.
Oh, dang!
And like I love Voltron.
That's pretty far. Yeah, Voltron's pretty cool.
But so it has the walkie-talkie feature, dope. But these do not disturbs, they have gotten so much better. So it's basically telling me, do not disturb will be on until you leave. So until I leave the vicinity of this area, that it will be do not disturb, which is fucking so good. Like then I don't have to remember. It's like it does it for me. It's dope. So Sober October, I started doing it because of Joe Rogan, and I really like the challenge as well. It's really hard to be sober during October, especially when there's Oktoberfest. So much shit is going on. But I didn't do it last year because I just didn't want to do it. And then this year, I started doing it, but I started doing it on October 2nd, not October 1st. Because on September 30th, me and my girlfriend, I was like, you know what, girl, we're going to have some fun. Let's go get a nice champagne. I rolled 3 joints. I'm like, I'm going sober tomorrow. So I want this to be like a nice, we're chilling, watching some movie, drinking champagne, me smoking a joint, like I enjoy it. But then, here's what happened. I could only smoke 2 joints.
Oh, no.
And drink 1 bottle of champagne.
What?
We had both 2.
Oh, that's terrible.
So the whole Friday, October 1st, there was this joint, like a nice little fatty, on my desk, begging me, like, you're really gonna leave me like that? And just something felt unfinished. And I'm like, you know what? I already have champagne. I know that the second I get off from work, I'm gonna smoke that joint. Fuck it. We're starting October 2nd. And I really did start October 2nd. October 1st, the night, again, I hung out with my girlfriend. We popped the 2nd bottle of champagne. I smoked the joint. And since October 2nd, nothing. Like,
does this mean that you're going to go until November 1st?
2nd.
You're going to go till November 2nd?
Yeah.
You're going to finish the month?
Yeah.
Wait, aren't you going to go see your friend? Aren't you going to Mexico this month?
No, next month.
You said you were going to see him in October.
November. 12th.
Oh,
November 12th.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, if that was the case, then I would have not.
Yeah.
I would have not done
I
sober
was like,
October.
hold on, you're gonna go to your favorite place where there's like bad tequila.
Yeah, and like not drink any. Yeah, that's not happening. Like that's,
if you weren't able to not drink to not smoke the goddamn joint, you're definitely not gonna not
exactly.
drink.
and you know, like that's how it feels a lot of times for me. Like if I've set my mind onto something, that I'll do it and then I don't stop. If I don't get that first thing done, I cannot forgo it. And it's like so weird, right? So honestly, I don't miss the alcohol. I don't miss the weed. I actually like myself better right now that I'm sober. Of course, I've been only sober for like 2 weeks. And I think I'm going to slow down on the weed a little bit, man. Like, I found out that I'm a lot more motivated. And especially when it comes to work, I'm like, okay, let's go get it. Let's go eat. Like, this is it. Like, we're getting that shit done. And while when I was smoking, it was kind of like, you know, I can get that thing done tomorrow too. It was weird. And then I talked to my therapist about it. And he was like, yeah, that happens with a lot of people. And I was so curious about it because, for example, I have friends that they smoke and then they go machine shit. And they learn how to machine and they learn how to... Oh, somebody just looked.
I'll open it.
Yo, we just got dark. Things got dark. Things got really dark. So, good thing about Sober October is that there's... No, it's outside.
No, the door thing?
It's outside, yeah. So, the good thing about Sober October is that Stella Beck's, who else? Heineken and Budweiser have this 0% alcohol beer now. So, I want to be very clear about this. When I say Sober October, I mean no alcohol whatsoever. So, I don't drink kombucha that has alcohol in it. I actually don't even drink kombucha this month.
You regularly drink kombucha?
Yeah, I like the taste, especially the cayenne one.
Wait, hold on. Which one's the kombucha? Is that
Fermented little things. It's like supposed to be good for your gut, but I don't understand because everything that goes into your stomach, right? Most of the stuff are killed by the stomach acid. So I don't understand, but you know that's not for me.
Yeah.
But good thing that Stella, Heineken, Budweiser, they came with these 0% alcohol beers because even if it has 0.05%, like I think it's kind of cheating.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It still has some alcohol. So this is it. It's Stella Zero. Funny thing, they will still ID you for this when you buy it.
Oh.
And I was like, but it has no alcohol.
That's very interesting.
It is. I was like, what? I started making jokes with the girls at the register where I buy it because all the time they ID me and I'm like, but it has zero alcohol. It's legitimate, like
that
zero.
is weird. Why would that be?
Right, like I don't know. That's an interesting thing.
Because like what? Like let's play out a scenario. I don't know. A bunch of 15-year-olds are hanging out and then behind the schoolyard or some shit, drinking 0% alcohol beer, and like the cops roll up. It's like, what are you guys doing? We're just drinking, just pretending to drink beer. Oh, you can't do that. Like,
but not only that, can you imagine if you sell that to a minor? Do you think you're gonna go to jail for that? Like normally you would do it if you sell alcohol to. Why did you go to jail? Because I sold non-alcoholic beer to a minor. What? No, not non-alcoholic. Zero alcohol. Because non-alcoholic still has some alcohol in it, right?
It's the fucking language that's so frustrating. Fuck you, English. But yeah, right. It's zero. It's zero
alcohol.
Zero alcohol.
So it's interesting.
Like no, I can't move on. Because it's like the specifics are very clear that you're not drinking anything. It's like the equivalent of drinking juice. Like what's the worst thing that can happen? Now the kids are used to the but they could go to the store and buy a fucking soda. You get a Mountain Dew, right? But chill with the beer. You know, like
chill with the zero alcohol beer. Like, you can't do that.
No, yeah. Like get the fuck out of here, man. I wonder if anything, would that be a better option for young adults to drink non-alcoholic beer? This way, they even develop a taste for non-alcoholic beer. And then they just don't drink as much. You know what I'm saying?
So
would that function?
Well, you tried it, right? Tell the people, because I think that's the first time you tried it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, you could have very well given that to me and told me it was a beer, and I would have known the difference.
Cheers.
You know, for real. But salud.
Salud.
But I'm doing the podcast, and in the podcast I drink, so yeah. So, which is why I'm not doing it. But have you tried the alcohol-free wine?
No, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, there's I think Sutter Home.
You can do it yourself at home too. You can boil it.
Boil what? Just the wine?
Because the second you boil it, the alcohol is the first thing that will evaporate.
Yeah, but how would it change the profile?
The taste, not much. We do that shit all the time in Bulgaria.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a cure for whenever you have a cold, we call it like boiled rakia or boiled wine. So basically, like you put a little bit of black pepper in it, you boil it, like you get it to boiling temperature, and then you just shut it off, and it's just warm grape juice. And it has zero alcohol. And like the first time that happened to me, when my dad gave me that, it was here in the United States. I was probably like 27, 28, I want to say.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and it was winter. It was one of those like crazy winter storms that we usually get here once in the blue.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, let's all gather around the fireplace, and then we're gonna have the boiled thing. And I'm like, okay, first one, second one, third one. I'm usually about a third, because he gives like glasses, like little cups. But a third cup of that type of alcohol, I'm pretty toasty. And I'm like, yo, I'm not drunk. Like, what the fuck is going on? He goes, yeah, alcohol boils out. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, because alcohol has a lot lower boiling temperature,
right,
than whatever the rest of the wine is. So the alcohol just evaporates. Now,
interesting.
And that's why, like, I didn't know that Southern Home has a non-alcoholic wine, but I am willing to try that because that's gonna be cool to try.
The one that I want to taste is alcohol free whiskey. I've only seen that like on videos. Like on YouTube videos and like commercials and shit. I've seen I think fucking it's a Jim Beam. I'll have some image for you guys, but there's alcohol free bourbons, alcohol free whiskeys. You know, just like that's interesting. Yeah,
that is interesting.
Yeah,
because then you get all the taste. I mean, see, with this zero alcohol beer, I think they hit the market right on the nail. First, pregnant women.
Yeah.
Second, and that's a big one, Muslims.
Oh, right.
Especially very religious Muslims that do not drink alcohol.
Right.
And I know a couple of people like that they refrain from drinking alcohol. They will smoke hookah, but alcohol is not.
Yeah, right. You know, right? Like different cultures and stuff. But that's a good way to bring in other cultures to this one.
Yep.
This particular one, so one that they may not.
Third, recovering alcoholics.
Yeah.
Because you know that you said it yourself. It tastes exactly like beer.
Yeah.
It's just zero alcohol.
Right.
You can drink 4 of those. So actually, last night I drank 4 of them, and here's what was very interesting to me. I wasn't drunk, right? Which was weird, because usually after 4 I'll have like a slight buzz, but the aftertaste of the wheat and the beer ingredients stay with you. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. So it does kind of have the same taste as beer. It's just zero alcohol, so you cannot get fucked up on it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it does kind of feel that you're still drinking. Like, especially if you drink, it gives you that satisfaction. So I don't know how to explain it, because I've never seen anything like this that I can compare it to. Like, not CBD, none of that.
I wonder how much of it is. I wonder how much of it is. It's a mixture of the placebo effect.
Oh, big time.
Just habits. You know, you're just used to doing something so often. You know, especially when if you have like a problem. You know, you just do it all the time. It's like sometimes it's the habit that's you know, that's causing it, and that's a good way to, hey man, you know, let's help you out, because we can objectively agree that that is bad for anyone. You know, it's like it does damage to the body. You know,
That's how I actually.
Let's not play ignorant about.
That's why I'm doing Sober October, is because at this point I felt that, like, fuck, like the only, like, I do drink every day, like a beer or something like that. Not much, but still the thing. And then the smoking weed was like every night, and it was so. At one point, I just got bored with myself, and when I got bored with myself, I'm like, no, I have to switch things around a little bit. But then again, I couldn't do it until that was finished. What I said that I'm gonna finish, and I said this is it, and then that was it. And it was very interesting how my brain just like was like, oh, okay, that's a deal. Let's do that. Because usually, like, you can ask my girlfriend. There've been a few times where we're like, no, I'm not gonna smoke today. I'm not gonna do that. And then, dude, come nighttime, I'm like cranky. I'm like, I really want to do it, and I have the weed, and I have this, and I'm like, like, nah, I don't have the weed. I don't gotta go look for it. I don't have the beer. I don't want the beer. Like, I think this is my. So I've been 2 weeks, right, give or take. I've been sober. So, and this sounds so weird to say it. Like 2 weeks I've been sober. I think you have like bubblegum stuck on your.
Or for real?
Yeah, on your bottom. Or not bubblegum, but there's something stuck. Anyway.
That's gross.
So, not sober, but I stopped drinking. Because, like, I'm definitely not going to continue with that. But I'm definitely bringing myself back. And you know what? It's very interesting because it kind of correlated about a year ago when I went to Aruba. That's all I was doing. Like, day in, day out. In Aruba, I'll wake up, we'll go to have breakfast, mimosas. Drink throughout the day, drink throughout the night. I couldn't get any weed over there because even though they're colony of the Netherlands, which is so far, like, weed is illegal over there.
It's illegal in the Netherlands?
No, it's illegal in Aruba. But Aruba is under, it's like a commonwealth of the Netherlands where weed is legal. Weed and shrooms are legal. It's like,
that's
I know.
Weird.
I know. It is. So, I really like that idea. And I couldn't get off. Like, once I did that for the 8 days that we were there, dude, like, I was like,
oh, that's long enough to build a terrible habit, bro.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Like, I built a habit and I was like, and it was just kind of hard to shake it off.
Right.
Until Sober October came, right? Because we went 2020 at the end of September. Like, I came home like September 30th or something like that. And then exactly year to the date, I was like, no, I'm going to just be cool for like 1 week, see what happens. I mean, not 1 week, 1 month. I like it. Like, it's very interesting transformation. I feel a little more livelier. And I said earlier, I have a lot more drive, which is, that's the one thing that surprised me. So I think that after this is done, I'm definitely not gonna be drinking as much, and using weed as much. And
that's awesome.
I want to see how that's gonna play out. I want to see like what will happen. That's interesting. It's an experiment, and like I'm going through the experience, and that was big. That was big. But we have actually so much other shit to talk about. So let's get to it. You know, Sober October is dope. Whoever wants to do it, I recommend it. It is an experience, and you know, it shows you that you don't have to be like when I went on the booze cruise, dude. I did not drink anything, and I still had fun. I was just happy to be around the people that I really liked.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's often what you hear from somebody that's not drinking anymore. Is that, you know, it's like, you know, still had fun, and it's. I've also seen people make fun of that, and the thing like, oh, the thing about people, the sober people that are like telling you is like, oh, but I'm having so much fun and blah blah. It's like, well, it's more of them, at least in my opinion, it's more of them just expressing how they feel, because like, you know, you're like, oh my god, I'm so hammered, you know, it's like, bro, you're like literally doing that, and they're just saying, dude, I'm chilling, you know, they're like, it's a fair statement to make, you know. It's like, yo,
it is.
Rock and roll, man, you know.
It is. Oh, and I lost weight.
Oh, sick, nice, bro.
Yeah, I lost like probably like 3 or 4 pounds. Nothing else changed. I'm still confined to a desk, chair about 12 hours a day.
Right.
But just
that's awesome. Yeah,
dropping. I was
fucking
like,
fucking A. Yeah. So like, isn't it interesting how this the things that make us feel good, you know, there's a point where you just gotta be tough enough to tell yourselves like, okay, so I need to slow this down. I need to stop this, because like, you know, as they say, too much of a good thing. It's like, dude, it's nice. It's nice to, you know, relax after a long day of work, etc. You know, you could come up with the reasons as to why you have, you know, your drug of choice, and it's fun, but it can get dangerous to the point that like you're saying, you know, that you saw this on yourself, and it was like, you know what, maybe I should cut it back, and that's fucking great, you know. It's like,
I just wonder why I couldn't do it earlier. Like earlier, I was getting crankier and stuff like that. Like, I really wanted to. Like the desire wasn't there, but I guess there was like something about the fact that I'm doing it in October, and I've already done it in October beforehand. That it's like that it was more conditioning, and my mind was ready to do it, and my mind knew exactly how to handle that because I've been there. But I couldn't do it during the other months. And I did try that. I think I did try it in July, or I think it was June or July that I tried to like slow down the weed, and the drinking, it was just like not happening. But probably just because I just said I'm not going to cut it completely out. I just want to slow it down.
Right. And sounds like the difference there was that you committed this time. You know, there was no commitment. It was more of a it'd be a good idea, as opposed to I'm doing this. You know, and fucking A, man, that's freaking awesome, bro. Happy for you, bro. Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
But yeah, so what are we gonna talk about? Let's start with the Fury fight.
Let's start with the Fury fight.
What a fight!
My boy has so much to say about the Fury fight, bro.
Oh shit! Like, first of all, Deontay Wilder cannot box. I've said that before, said it again. We'll continue saying it. Even though in the first 2 rounds he scared me because he came with a plan. He was throwing the jabs and the straight rights to the body. And then by the end of like the second round, when I saw like what Fury was doing, I was like, oh yeah, he's outlanding him. And so the whole idea and how this thing happened, I mean, Wilder is has incredible power. I mean, he has like 41 knockouts out of 44 fights. Insane. But he's never been in trouble. And just like Tyson, he's never, like Tyson, I think he lost first to Buster Douglas, or Douglas Buster, right? And Teddy Atlas said it. He was like, in my views, Tyson is not 50-5 or whatever, or 50-6, whatever he is. He's 0-5. And why? Because every time he faced a challenge, he couldn't overcome it, right? Versus other people like Muhammad Ali, like others who, Canelo, Gennady Golovkin, Mayweather. I think, to me, Mayweather is one of the best, no, let me rephrase that, the best boxer with the most skill. Like, that dude knows how to fucking box, and he's like, people, when you hear other boxers talking about how, what he does when he's in the ring, he's like, they're like, yo, he observes, he analyzes you, and then he picks you apart, like slowly but surely. While Wilder, he had, oh my God, who said it? I forgot who said it. I think it was, again, Teddy Atlas. He has this eraser, where he's like, all the previous mistakes and all the previous rounds that you've done, you can erase with one punch and floor a motherfucker. And like, he he knows how to floor a dude, right? But his biggest mistake was going against Tyson Fury, and he did not realize that. And every time he spoke about Fury, there was like there was no respect. And I'm like, you don't understand what Fury fucking did.
Hold on, before we get to that part, you said, I mean, if he won, I have two big questions. One is if he won that many fights,
he just
wouldn't that mean that he's a good boxer?
No,
I mean,
because everybody was afraid of his power, dude. He used to starch people. Like
so you're saying the previous fights, it wasn't because he was a good boxer, it was just because people were like running away.
They would stay away from the power, yeah. So instead of taking the fight to him like Fury did, and Fury, dude, if you watch the first fight, you would see how Fury figured it out in the 12th round that Wilder cannot box off his back foot. The second you start pushing Wilder back, he doesn't know what to do. Because there's no power now. There's no, like, that right hand is almost eliminated. Right? So that's why in the second fight, right? So the first fight.
And just an interesting way to put it, yeah.
For the first fight, like, Fury kind of stood away a little bit, this and that. In the second fight, he just went right to him. And you saw what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the third fight though, like, it got me worried a little bit.
Yeah, how far did they go in the third fight? Was it
11 rounds.
11.
Yeah. But so Fury knocked down Wilder in the third, and then Wilder knocked down Fury twice in the fourth.
That shit was entertaining.
Dude, if you see that punch, that's what I'm saying.
That shit was entertaining, man. Like, no, just the fight in general is just like these two fucking monsters just fucking
Yeah.
You know, like that shit was cool.
But I have to be honest, like when I saw that punch that Fury threw, that Wilder threw in the fourth round, that the first time he knocked down Fury, I was worried. Because, if you watch it, that punch sends waves through his body. That was a powerful punch. And that's what I mean. That's what he had always been. Motherfucker,
Yeah, you
Wilder,
see him shake.
Yeah.
It goes like,
yeah.
like little Chuck.
Wilder came the first since I've watched Wilder fight. He only came with one plan: land that right hand. That was his only plan. And that's why, like, in the first two rounds, I thought that he was a little bit dangerous because he was throwing power body shots. And you know what that does. I mean,
imagine Mayweather with that fucking power.
Oh, dude,
he'll fucking murder everyone, bro.
I think, dude, I think that if Mayweather had a little bit more power, he would be probably 90-0.
Bro.
Dude, like, Julio Cesar Chavez went 86-0.
Wasn't he 99-0?
No, 86-0. I think then got marked by somebody. Or 89-0.
No, I think he was a fight away from being 100-0.
Nah,
I'm pretty sure.
Nah.
That's when De La Hoya stepped in. I'm like,
let's see.
Let's find out.
Keep talking though.
Speaking about you said that somebody said about Tyson that he's not 40-0. He's more like 5-0 or some shit. What does that mean?
Well, he basically every time he outclassed a lot of people. Like he was better skill set than most of the fighters that he fought. But every time he was in trouble, he couldn't regain. He couldn't.
So you're saying he's lost more than he's won then? Because like that's what 40-0 means, right? It's like he's won 40 wins, 0 losses. But you said that this other person said that he was actually 5-0. So
0-5.
So why?
Because Tyson was a monster. So what he was saying basically is like, okay, if you put him to the point where he was in trouble, so somebody had better boxing skills than him, he just crumbled. He couldn't figure out the problem in front of him. Even though he had more power, he still had all that shit. Like, he just crumbled.
So some of the fights that he won, he didn't deserve to win?
No. So. All of the fights he lost. Well, yeah. All of the fights that he won, it was not a proper match. It's like me putting you against a race car driver and saying race, and the race car driver wins, right? Like, that's not a real win.
Oh, so like he fought like easy contestants, basically.
Correct, yeah,
Easy
like,
challengers.
Not only easy challengers, he fought people that he definitely outclassed. Even though they were the next best thing, like they were here, he was like in the stratosphere.
Right.
But whenever like Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, right? Like when he met those dudes, he was like, "Oh shit! Like they know how to box. I don't know what the fuck to do."
Right.
So he couldn't figure out.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So I was like, well, they don't come because they were. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
Julio Cesar Chavez, right?
Yeah, Julio Cesar Chavez. Not.
Let's see.
They got the beat that. Not beat, but.
No, because he has 115 total fights with 107 wins.
Yeah, that's when he came back. But the fight when De La Hoya beat him, De La Hoya kept him from the 100. I'm pretty sure. If not, if I'm wrong, then
87 and 0. And then Perot Whitaker, they had a draw, majority decision draw. And then Frankie Rando was the first person he lost to via split decision.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought, no, for real? I gotta, damn.
Yeah, right here.
Let me see. My memory sucks.
Yeah. And dude, like, I'm telling you, like, if Mayweather wasn't, because Mayweather has issues as far as like his body goes, right?
Okay. So I misremember. It was his 99th fight. It wasn't that he was 99-0. That makes sense. Because the fight that I remember most about him is when I remember him losing, and that was to De La Hoya.
Dude, he was such a great boxer.
Yeah. Oh man, I follow this motherfucker on Instagram. He's gotten like some fucking Botox. Oh, Chavez, ¿por qué, güey? You look terrible, man. But at the same time, I'm sitting there judging him, and I'm like, well, this motherfucker got, he probably got hit in the head so many times. So you know what? I'll let it slide.
Like, dude, 115 fights. That's like unheard of.
Bro, yeah.
But back to Fury. So what Wilder did is wildly underestimate Fury. Because if Wilder had not been a prick and knew his skill set, right? So if you watch,
that's the thing I couldn't figure out, like why he was giving him so much shit. Even after the fight, when Tyson goes and tries to like talk to him, and
he's like, I
don't respect you. It's like,
fuck you.
Like why? Like, bro, I mean,
because he made excuses. That's why.
Or something.
Dude, because honestly, when it comes to
yourself.
when it comes to Wilder, he's 0-3 against Fury. Dude, like,
well, the first one was a draw.
Bullshit. Watch that fucking fight. He won every single round. He won every single round.
Not Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
For real?
Yeah. Like, watch the first fight.
I didn't see the whole fight. All right.
Watch the first fight, and then you'll see how in the 12th round he figured him the fuck out. That's when he figured out.
That's when he knocked him down, though, right?
Yeah.
That's when Wilder knocked Tyson down.
Twice. And then Tyson came back,
knocked
Wilder down.
Yo, that shit is crazy.
He knocked him down, and he won the fucking round.
Tyson's tough.
And I'm like, oh shit. And I think that's exactly when he figured out in the 12th round of the first fight.
Right.
He figured out, oh, this motherfucker doesn't know how to box.
Yo, how much time had gone by since he had fought?
3 years. Dude, he was like depressed.
Yeah,
bro. He was depressed. Like,
he was bad, man.
He was bad.
Yeah.
And when I sent you that video of, you can post the link down in the comment, not in the comments, but in the description of how it all started. Basically, it was in Madison Square Garden. Wilder had just won, and Fury came on the ring, and he was like, "You ain't shit." And then Wilder started saying shit like, "Oh yeah, he's a has-been, he's nobody, blah blah blah." Yo, motherfucker, you're 0-3. Like, bro. that draw was a judge's mistake. And to have that stupidity to be like, oh, all I gotta do is just touch him once. Like, that mentality is the reason why he lost all those 3 fights. Yeah. Is because if you believe in that, you have this eraser in your hand, right? That will erase all of your previous mistakes in all the previous rounds. Then
fucking Tyson
you
could
obviously
take a punch, bro.
yeah. I mean, best trilogy I don't like. There hasn't been that many trilogies, but the best, like way better than Foreman and Ali.
Man,
like,
yo, Tyson, bro, he could take a punch, bro. That shit, like, so we was like, bah, this dude just like,
most likely
goes
that's why.
Back.
Most likely that's why he broke his hand. Because Wilder apparently had a broken right hand afterwards.
Shit.
And they're like, oh yeah, he couldn't use his right hand. I'm like,
why?
It's a fight. It's a fight. Just take it like a man. Look, Joshua got knocked the fuck out by Ruiz. Joshua got knocked the fuck out by Usyk.
He came back,
Not only that, he didn't make no excuses.
Right. Yeah, that's the frustrating part.
And then Wilder's like, yeah, my 40-pound vest was too heavy. Yeah, I broke my hand. He got little brittle hands. Like, I swear to God, sometimes I just want McGregor. I just want
that's your job, bro.
Yeah, but remember when McGregor was fighting Mayweather? And he's like, he cannot knock me out. His little fucking brittle hands. I couldn't stop. I'm like, yeah, that's what Fury... And Fury's such a class act. Like, holy shit, yo. Yeah. You talked shit about him. Well, he didn't... even the shit talking wasn't that much. Like, in the fight, like... And then Wilder's like, oh... One other thing that frustrates me about the fight is like, oh, yeah, we had to wait for Wilder to come out to the stage. And he's not used to coming out first, right? Because second comes the champion. Like, he's always used to coming out second, and like, now he wants to make a statement. Bro, you got your fucking face boxed off, bro.
Wait, what? He made, what, people, who was that talking? Who was complaining that he was coming out second?
Wilder. So if you watch the fight...
Wilder was complaining that he came out second?
No, Wilder was complaining that he was coming out first. Right, so because...
He was complaining about when he was coming out.
Well, he cannot complain. But he was trying to make a statement that he's going to be the champion, so he made everybody wait like 5 minutes before he came out.
Oh,
before so
drama queen,
because they introduced them.
Dang.
Right, like they introduced them, and then after the introduction, like they're supposed to come out, and he made people fucking wait 5 minutes. And like he came out with that bullshit ass fucking mask like again. Like, what the fuck do you think, bro? Like, you got marked twice before that. Like, maybe you should stop with the theatrics. And then when oh my God, when Fury came out, yo, you know who he reminded me of? Bomberman. Remember that video game Bomberman? Because he had like the Spartan thing and the gloves. And I was like, oh my God, he looks like Bomberman.
Oh, was that little guy, little character?
Yeah,
like it was like a sideways game, right? Like he like like that.
No. It was like a game, like it's a 3D game, up, down, left, and right, and you used to put bombs and like blow like little things up.
Oh no, I don't remember that.
Researching and just put a thing over here. I'm telling you, it's like he looks like Bomberman. I was like, oh, they're gonna be bombs, and then, and I think that. Even though Fury was a class act through and through, I think that knockout severely broke or shortened the career of Wilder. I think that there was just too much damage to take, and I think that his corner in the second fight was right to throw in the towel.
Oh yeah,
because he was getting so much damage.
Yeah,
that it's At one point, like,
I mean, if you're gonna stand by your team, you gotta respect their decisions when they see. Oh,
he switched the team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he switched the team. He switched his trainer to Malik somebody.
Damn, because of that shit.
Because of that, because they threw in the tower. His whole team threw in the tower. But again, he always came with no plan except that fucking right head knockout.
Man, I'm curious about how long he was with that team. Meaning, if he was with them through like his career. And then because they chose this,
I don't know.
Yeah, because like that'd be really fucked up if like, I'm making total assumptions over here. That'd be really fucked up if he was with them, like praised them for when he won fights, but then when they were like, bro, nah, son, we know you're getting your ass whooped. We want you to live, so let me throw in the fucking towel. You know what I'm saying?
I think that it was the right thing to do too. And I'll tell you why.
no, that's what I'm. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
agree. Your
Not
team.
the towel. I think that it was the right thing to
Switch teams.
switch teams.
Ah.
Because if he saw how Malik trained him, right? And even though that was to his detriment,
I see
at
what
the
you're
end,
saying. Because I mean, you cost me the fight. I need to
but
get
they
better.
didn't have a plan. Yeah. They didn't have a plan. Now with this fight, that's what I was saying. Like, in this fight, they came in with a plan. They came in with throw the body shots, do this, do that. Because once you start throwing fucking power body shots in the first, second, third round, that shit pays off in like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Like when, because again, if you want to get a boxer a little bit more tired, you go downstairs, you throw a few nice body shots that land, you break a rib or bruise a rib. You know how hard it is to breathe with a fucking broken rib? I've never had broken ribs, and I've heard it's very hard, and I trust those people.
Have you been punched in the stomach? Yeah, it's fucking tough. Yeah, it's tough to breathe.
So like he came up with that plan, but you know what? What happened? Well, the second. So as I was watching the fight, I understood that the second, but by the end of the second round, Wilder did not know how to handle it. He was in pure survival mode then. Fourth round, he was a lucky. Fourth round, legitimately, Fury thought that he can eat that right hand, and he did eat it, but he did not think that he's going to knock him down because he was also punching Wilder with some body shots. And honestly, I do think that he was in trouble. So Fury was in trouble 4th, 5th, and first half of 6th. I was really worried, to be honest. But then after that, and you know what? Another thing that I noticed is that Fury is known for his like little twitching and stuff like that. He didn't do that this fight. And I think that was to prove a point that even if he does that, because that's very important in a fight. Those twitches, those feints, because you don't know what he's going to throw, right? So he's already overloading your nervous system. And that's one thing that you want to take. Like, that's why sometimes I really have no respect for boxers that are just like, let me rephrase that. Not that I don't have respect for them. I don't like that fighting style where they're just like, because you already know, like once that hand goes up, like he's throwing. While like Fury before was like he'll kind of like fainted a little bit, and that would overload your system. And like when I was in YOKO, right, back I was still in the liquor store. When I was boxing in YOKO, dude, I went in the ring with a dude like that, and I was like, what the like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's going to throw a punch or he's just going to fuck with me and go downstairs. Like, it was hard. I lasted 1 round. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm like, dude, I cannot even think straight. Because then you constantly have to keep distance. You constantly have to fight off your back foot. And if you fight off your back foot, you have no power. Like, it's very hard for you to take a step back, plant and attack and counter.
Right.
And then especially when the dude is not throwing, your counters are just shit. So I didn't like that about Fury, but I think that he did that to prove a point. To prove a point that I can fight your style and still win. And you know, I mean, Wilder vastly underestimated him. And Wilder has honestly never been put in that type of situation. I think that if he wants to prove that he's a good boxer, he needs to start doing what the Krav Maga people are doing. And, you know, before you go sparring, you get yourself really tired, right? So Sambo, combat Sambo, and Krav Maga, before we started training and practicing new tactics or anything like that, they'll make you run, they'll make you do rolls, they'll make you do so much shit that by the time you're done, your brain is a mush.
Right.
And then they'll start teaching you. Okay, well, and because, in a real fight, when you're tired, that's when you have to put yourself together. And that's why that's why I think that Fury kind of toyed around him for rounds 8, 9, and 10. Yeah. Because I think he knocked him down again in round 7. I have to check. Like, let me not. But basically, I think that Fury, man, I don't know how to say it because that would sound like so basic. But when he had him in trouble, he should have gone downstairs, thrown body punches, and then come up. But what Wilder did and what Malik was teaching him is to duck. So when Fury noticed that, and they post that shit in Instagram and all that shit, so he kind of knows sort of the game plan that he's gonna move around a little bit. He used to eat uppercuts. Like, I don't know if you've seen the headlights. Like, he'll put his head down and then Fury will be like, punk, punk. Yo. And I'm like, you don't just put your head down like that, son. Like, you don't see the punches this way. Yeah. That's why Mayweather is so good, because if you think about, like, if you look at Mayweather, he's always watching. And, like, even if he's, like, in Canelo, when they move, their head is up.
Yeah.
Their head is up. And
always keep an eye with the opponent.
Exactly. While Wilder was just, like, ducking down, he wasn't paying attention, so, like, great fight. But right. I do think that Wilder vastly underestimated the skill that Fury has. Mm-hmm. And had he done his homework, he would have noticed how Fury went to Germany and outboxed arguably one of the greatest heavyweights in the world, Vladimir Klitschko. He beat him in his arena.
What?
Yeah. Watch that fight, man. Fury does one thing that I really wanted him to do to Wilder, and he didn't, where he would tie up, right? And so he would tie up, and the person would start going this way. He spun him around, and I think it was with a left hook. Boom. So your head is under here, right? He takes the step, he puts you out. The second you turn around, he's going, bonk. So it's like a punch that you don't even expect. I was like, holy shit.
So, like, he moved his opponent?
Yeah. So
can you do that? Can you move your opponent like that?
Oh yeah, you can do anything to your opponent. Like if you for example, if you watch, the only thing you cannot do is like kicks, right?
Yeah.
But you can step on their foot.
You can step on their foot?
Yeah.
How come they don't do that more often? That'd be hilarious.
Because, I mean, it depends who you're fighting. Usually, it's easier to step on the foot of somebody that's fighting the opposite stance. So if you're Orthodox and they're Southpaw, you can step on their foot and, like...
Bro, dude, I'll be going in and be like, yeah, you can't hit me now.
You can't stomp on their foot, but you can restrict the movement.
What do you mean?
So you cannot just go bang.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No.
That's a hit.
You can step on them so they have
so they can't move?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's cool.
That's
cool.
like if you watch Mayweather.
You said hit, so I was trying to be like.
No, you cannot kick them. Oh, you cannot throw.
I was gonna step on it and shit. This way we'll break a toe. It's like, this motherfucker ain't standing. You ain't jumping.
Yeah,
you know.
You can.
Yeah.
You can also kind of use your forearms to lock their arms. So you can use, basically, if you put your forearm against theirs and you're pushing against them, they cannot throw up punches. You can also linger your forearm and your elbow next to their head, so that takes away the power.
Stuff like that. You know, I knew, but like, because I saw this thing that Tyson that kept doing was, he would like put his hand like in their head, be over here, almost like a fucking to like do like a choke or some shit. Mm-hmm. But then they get away, and I'm like, yo, is that...
He puts his weight
on
him.
Can you do that shit? Like, because like now I feel like you could just grab him and just start hitting him.
Well, that's what they usually do. So what they usually do with that, and it's like... if the other opponent ties up. So when you tie up with them, so it's weird, but depends on the referee as well. Because some referees will actually encourage you to punch it out. Right? Like, and we saw that with Golovkin and Canelo, where, they'll go in and they'll go like, pum, 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 and they'll punch it out. They'll fight close corners.
Right.
But, I mean, it's dirty boxing, essentially, right? When I say dirty boxing, is like, it's not illegal.
Sucio.
It's not illegal.
Right, but it's just... It ain't classy.
Exactly.
It ain't pinky up boxing.
But at the same time, it's a fucking fight. I mean, you're trying to win.
Yeah.
So, I forgot who was saying that, but and I forgot which boxer that was. But every time they tied up and like their head was under their arm, he will put the glove right next to the mouth and the nose so you cannot breathe. Because most of the time, that's why you're doing it, so you can take a breath without getting punched.
Right.
Right. because now he's too busy. But what Tyson learned how to do is just put his weight on him. So all of a sudden, dude, like, yeah, you're tying up, you're trying to breathe, and all of a sudden you have a 300-pound motherfucker on your neck. And most likely, like, I didn't see his glove, doing anything, but most likely, like, just that grab did not make it very comfortable for you to breathe to begin with, and then you're eating body shots.
Yeah.
But, and you know what? Yeah, like, he showed up heavier. Both of them showed up super heavy, right? And it was an interesting fight. And, I was really worried about Tyson round 4, 5, and the first half of 6. But I was worried because, yes, he did not knock him. When he got knocked down, he was all there. So he saw the ref, and I was like, you know what? I'm worried. Because, like, you're still there, but your legs are not there. Right. Which was shown later on in the same round when he got knocked down again. Right? Because, like, he's just like
my legs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that fucking Tyson has a concussion from that punch, bro. Like, he might have been a little concussed.
Yeah, the motherfucker went out partying afterward.
I don't understand. I was like, no interviews, get that motherfucker into the hospital with Wilder. I mean, have 2 different hospitals, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, oh my God.
But then...
this motherfucker's out raving and shit.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
But then at the end, Wilder did come through and became a little bit classy, and he gave the respect on Twitter and on Instagram, and he was like one of the greatest trilogies, and I agree, it was a great fight, and the build up to the fight and the whole idea about it, and what Tyson was able to do with the whole event, because Tyson not only did he win and prove that he can turn your life around any moment as long as you put your mind to it.
Right.
He also increased awareness of mental health issues. He also told his story in a way that only he could. And if there is no movie about this, I don't know why. There should be definitely a movie about this fight.
Who would play Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tyson Fury will play Tyson Fury.
Yeah. So great.
It's cool.
Oh,
it's cool.
And then there is this new heavyweight that's coming up, this Cuban boy, Frank Sanchez.
Orale.
Holy shit, yo! I saw him move. Oh my God. I don't know, but he's heavyweight. So 201 and up. But
I could be heavyweight.
But dude, yeah, heavyweight or fat.
Hey man,
they will rock you when you get there.
It's muscle.
It's muscle. It's stored energy.
Yeah, I'm about to explode.
Yeah. What you call it? Yo, that Frank Sanchez guy, man. Oh my God, I think that he is. I think he has over 200 and something amateur fights. Dang. So yeah, before he became pro. So that, like, I'm definitely on the lookout for him. I think that he's gonna have some really interesting fights. I did not see the Joshua Usyk fight, but I wonder. I think that at the end of the day, I don't know how old Usyk is, but at the end of the day, I think that we'll see what will happen with Tyson, how he wants to handle the situation. I think that if he unifies the belts, and then I don't even want him to defend it. Just keep that just go into the sunset. Because the whole idea was like, well, who was the best, right? Was it Joshua, Fury, or Wilder? And many believe that Wilder was the best fighter, that he outbetter all of them. But then, like, the fact that we know now that he doesn't know how to fight when he's backed up off his back foot, he doesn't have a plan other than the right hand. Yeah, like, maybe he is not. Maybe it's just that everybody was so afraid of his power that they stayed away, which enabled him to tee off shots into their head, which were completely will knock those people out. Right. So, still, great fight. Definitely well spent money.
Good shit.
For real.
Yeah. Fury.
Tyson Fury.
What do we got next?
Well, there's so much shit to talk about. We have comedy specials. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a leak.
Go take a leak, bro. How you guys doing? I don't have my bass today, so I'm gonna pretend. Boom, 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 boom. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Dum 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 dum. So the
Chappelle show.
Chappelle show.
Chappelle show.
Oh man,
Where is he? He ain't coming.
Yo, Chappelle, my dude staying in Ohio for a little bit. No, I thought it was a good show.
I couldn't understand the backlash.
I
Honestly,
mean,
maybe I'm not understanding it, but
I mean,
when
if honestly, if you misunderstood his point, I understand the backlash. If you didn't like,
hold on. So you mean if you did not listen to what he had to say?
exactly, yeah. If you weren't, which is so ironic because it's a thing that he mentioned. It's a thing that he brought up. That the story about his friend, man, that shit is sad as shit. And like that was the point. Like that was the fucking point.
It was the community that dragged her down to begin with.
Well, right, like he said, he doesn't. We don't know exactly what happened, but people we can extrapolate hypotheses of what may or may not have happened. But just like his whole point, because even he said, at the end of it, he was like, thanks, bro. He's like, I'm not gonna make any more jokes about this until we find, until we see basically eye to eye.
Yeah.
And in a way, that was him saying that. It was like he's like, want to have that dialogue of why is it that you people are getting so offended, and like freaking as predictable as can be. The specific people got offended. It's like, so clearly you weren't listening to what the fuck he was saying, which is what he was saying. It's like,
he told you that you weren't listening, and you still didn't listen.
That you made it. Like,
and then on top of that, like, yo, man, that joke that Daphne made. Honey, I don't have carpets.
Oh my God!
I have hardwood floors.
That shit was great. Like honestly, there's no, and that's the thing. It's like that was his personal friend. Sure, you could say that. Well, we don't know if that story actually happened, but I don't have any justifiable reason. Right. I don't have any justified reason to think that he is lying about his friend, about how she was, how she behaved, and everything. And her sense of humor. And like, which is why he said the joke that he said, and because when he says like, oh, that's a man shit that would jump off the building, it's like that was him like doing a joke for his friend. Like that wasn't a joke that he was purposefully trying to.
Oh, we have balls to do that.
Right, it was right, and again, it was a joke that he in a way it's like to honor your friend. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like a person that's so close to my heart, and they go. I would want to honor them as much as I possibly could, and like, especially in that community of like of comedians and shit. It's like that's the whole point about comedy. That's the whole point about freaking like stand-up comics, that they're able to say the shit that is on all of our minds. And really awkward conversations, like that's like, to me, like that's kind of like some of my favorite comedians, like freaking George Carlin, Bill Burr, Jim Jeffries, like because they would say like they make you uncomfortable enough to think about what your own personal shit is and make you laugh with it.
Yep.
Not because you agree with everything they're saying. It's like, now I'm gonna go and beat up a trans person. No, that's not the fucking point. The point is to like let's go to that awkward place. Let's go to that fucking weird ass awkward place and talk about it. But you know what? I'm gonna make you laugh along the way.
True.
You know,
well, I've also I don't know. I was dating, I guess, for a little bit, a trans person, and dude, she was dope. She was one of the dopest people I've ever seen. Granted, did not work out, but because I couldn't work with the two that she was having, and to me that was like, but that was like, and she understood, you know, and she was like, well, you know, I don't want you to make you feel that way, but, man, like I did not see anything that was transphobic about that special, and I don't understand why trans people in Netflix are trying to walk out when they. Listen, if he told you that you're not listening to what he's saying, and if you do go back and look at all his specials, he's actually very transsexual and transgender. Like, see, that's where I get confused. Transsexual and transgender is just so fucking confusing. But he's pro those people.
Right.
And especially that joke he made about Walmart when down in North Carolina.
The baby?
Well, no, the one after the baby. Because, right, like the baby killed somebody in Walmart. He was not canceled. But the second he said something about gay people.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That was a great joke.
Hilarious. That was a good joke.
He goes, you can kill somebody in Walmart and what? And
nothing happens to your career, but don't hurt a gay person's feelings.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is a good joke. It's a funny joke.
But there was another one when in North Carolina, they have that law that you have to use the bathroom of the sex that you were assigned at birth. And I don't know if you remember when that thing was happening.
We're going to get canceled.
No. Which is a stupid law. No. Which is a stupid law, right?
It's not I don't think it's a law. I think it's just people start bashing you on. I love what he said about Twitter though. At the end, he was like, "Yo, Twitter's not a real place. I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, bro. But
that shit ain't real.
You know, you can find that picture posted like in a dead space over here, where in New York they did that, where they had transsexuals transsexual people use the bathroom of the sex that they were assigned at birth, and there was a lady, like decked out lady, who happened to be a man at birth, chilling, and like you'll see it's very powerful picture. It's like a dude taking a leak and she's just like this, like looking at him. And I'm like, yeah, that will make me uncomfortable too. Like, not because it's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is a woman. So let her use the bathroom that she wants to use.
Oh yeah. It's just
and that was the second part of the joke that he was like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. When he's talking about where he's like peeing and somebody else comes out.
Oh, you serve.
He's like, if you're doing that for my safety, it's like, bro, it was funny because like I'm not. Yeah, like I don't feel threatened. Like I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine, dude. But
But the fact that they don't listen,
right,
and the fact that they're like, oh no, comply with me.
Specific individuals didn't listen because a lot of like his the family of Daphne of his friend came to his defense. Is like that's the thing. Is like I don't think it's like that many people, but the people that are upset are so fucking loud, man.
I mean, you know what? But they're also retarded. They're retarded. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think. I just think they're just not listening. You know,
exactly.
Like that was
that's
thing.
the whole point. Like, they're not listening, and they're getting upset because they're told that they don't listen, and they still refuse to listen. And that's stupidity. I'm sorry, but that's completely silliness. When somebody's telling you you're not listening to what I am saying, and he said that throughout the fucking special so many times about the alphabet community. Because that's what I'm going to call them. Like, they have so many letters at this point that it's like, it's the alphabet community.
I wouldn't call it the alphabet community because I feel like there's certain people that use that as a way to attack them. You know what I'm saying? I don't skin off my back LGBT. Yeah, because if somebody refers to them like that, like in real life, it's almost like you're
I'm just saying that there are too many letters already.
LGBT plus, LGB plus, L plus, yeah. That's
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm like, I have gay friends. I love them to death. I think I told you about that time where my gay friend came out of a gay bar and he was like, I fucking gay. That's the reason I hate gay bars. And then there was one girl out there without even knowing him, without even knowing that he probably sucks more cock than she does. She goes, how can you say something like that? You're homophobic. And that's where I was like, girl, he probably sucks more cock than you do. Like, yo, she shut the fuck up right. Because it's like, you have like a split second of what this person was saying. And what he was saying was like really to the point. Because he goes, I hate gay bars because we went to this gay bar in Queens. And like, there was a show going on. And okay, there's a show, but like we went to a bar to have drinks. So we're talking amongst each other and people are like, why don't you pay attention to the show? This and that. I'm like, because I came here not to watch a fucking show. I came here to have a drink with my friends. Like the fact that there's some dude dressed like I don't know, he was just really eccentric to say the least. It was like a bad version of the Mad Hatter in Wallace of Wonderland.
Hold on. Was this a bar that happened to have a show, or was this a venue that you went to? Because if you went to a venue and somebody's trying to perform, then you guys are assholes.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
All right.
Because at this point, like apparently that was a bar and they've been to this place.
Imagine going to the Alamo and be like, you like talking to your friend having a beer. Hey, yo, bro, it's like, yo, can you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to watch a movie.
No. It was a bar with a stage.
Oh, all right.
It was a bar with a stage, but they've been to that bar before.
Okay.
They're the ones who brought us there. And then he came out and he's like, that's why I fucking, like, you cannot have a drink this. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Like, and, the show was not exactly entertaining. I thought it sucked. There was no theme to it. And then there was just that one person dressed like the Mad Hatter trying to sing, but he was not very good at it. And everybody was afraid to tell him so. Don't hurt a gay person's feelings,
Hey, or they were there to support, man. Yeah,
120 plus people. Yeah, that was way too many people to support that one person.
You don't know. Maybe they're like blowing up on Instagram and shit.
Probably.
Maybe that was Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna let you finish in a minute. Yo, how the fuck did Kanye get away with that shit? Till this day.
He did it. What do you mean he got away with it? Like,
no, nobody said shit afterwards. Like nobody held him responsible.
Yeah, fucking what? Like everybody, like
it was funny.
How were they gonna hold him responsible? Everybody looked at him awkwardly. Even apparently, I'm so embarrassed that I know this. Even Beyonce evidently apologized to Taylor Swift after the fact. It's like, listen, I don't know what the fuck that guy is doing.
Well, yeah, because he came out there. Yo, Beyonce
right?
Was such a
because he has problems, bro. I genuinely believe that this man just like.
Well,
okay, what's up?
He's no longer Kanye.
Anything he does, I'm like, of course he did. Like I'm not worried about it, but I'm also not taking him seriously. Like if Kanye runs up to somebody and tells him like, "Oh my God, there's a fire," like, okay, Kanye, see you later. Yeah, pat him on the head.
He told black people that slavery did not exist.
Oh my God, yes, I remember.
And then
that was hilarious.
He had the balls. Instead of apologizing, he goes, "No, I meant like modern day instead."
Oh no, that was so funny. Like that was straight up a skit. Like that was but again,
Dave Chappelle wrote it.
Right. Like but like that's what I'm saying. He's not real life. Anyone that takes him seriously is like it's not real life.
No, that's very real life. That's very real Kanye. Or yeah.
No. That's what I'm saying is that this is not a person you take seriously.
Oh,
just a small tangent here. So when a person that's bananas says shit, since they say so many random shit, maybe once they're gonna hit a mark, and they're gonna make them right about something. They're gonna be right about something. That doesn't mean that they're fucking geniuses. That doesn't mean that all the other crazy shit that they've said has any validity.
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
because like that's the thing that I saw. I saw recently, which the guy with the tattoos on the face, 69.
Okay.
I saw this thing where he's like, it's this fucking video's like 69 is spitting facts, you know. And I go to the comments as I do because I really think that I want to hear people's opinions, you know.
What did he say? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
He said I don't know, it was something the hood, and he was justifying why he ratted out the people that he ratted out.
I actually have zero problem with that shit.
Hold on. That's not the point. So he's just writing off, and then I go to the comments, and you know, and you saw these people with like mad props and shit, being like, oh no, everybody, like, yo, he's been saying the truth, like he's mad smart, you know, people haven't been listening. So that's what I'm saying right now. It's like, bro, if I don't know anything about this person, but this motherfucker's like, yeah. Just fucking like says like the most randomest of shits. You know, even like the songs that I've heard that are just like gibberish. That doesn't mean if he got one thing right, if it's right, doesn't mean that he's a fucking genius. If you could say like a fucking Alex Jones, he says like a conspiracy.
And
like,
he
nailed one of them. That doesn't mean the rest of them are right. Like, if you just like say shit, always, all the time, you're gonna say something right. That doesn't mean you're a fucking genius, bro.
True.
Should be driving me fucking crazy.
Like he did nail that fucking Hillary shit though.
Yo.
He did nail that Hillary shit. Like,
Yeah, he also said gay frogs.
gay frogs from outer space. Oh, one of the best Chappelle jokes of the whole special, man. Of the whole special was the space Jews.
Oh,
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yo, that shit was great.
Stop laughing. He
Yeah,
was
that
like,
shit was so good. Yo.
Imagine they left for thousands of years. They originated and they left.
Man.
And now they're coming here to reclaim it.
Yo, that is so plausible.
It's like, it is, but at the same time,
man.
it's hilarious because apparently that's what they did.
Yo, oh my God, could you imagine if fucking Chappelle joined the South Park guys? Fucking Matt and Trey Stone.
Oh my God.
I just
I
said
don't know
that
how
music.
I don't know. See, that's the
fucking
power
geniuses.
of. Well, it's not only them, because what's his name is also getting away with it. The Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
he actually talks about like real problems, and because they're cartoons, he cannot take them serious. Like, he just can't.
Yo, they be decapitating people left and right. It's like, man,
Yeah,
it's
like,
not real.
They killed Kenny like every single episode,
Oh yeah.
and nobody said shit. Child murder. Nobody said shit.
I killed Kenny, you bastards.
Yeah. And they were directing the jokes on them, right? Because they're the producers. And so therefore, they kill him every fucking episode.
Yeah,
He just magically, he's like Jesus. Just resurrects.
Yo, you
every
see that
single-
episode with like when Jesus and Santa Claus are fighting? It was like their first episode, their holiday special, I think it was called.
Probably.
Oh man, it's so
Probably.
fucking fun.
I haven't watched them recently, but
Oh, bro, oh.
because there's so much more interesting shit to watch out there that it's
Dude,
like,
no, they've like I've recently started watching some of the most recent seasons. No, bro, they're funny. Like they go into like the whole PC culture. They go hard. They've gone hard on weed. Like fucking Stan's dad. Like he's like moved. Like he's bought a farm and shit. Like they like.
yeah. No,
bro,
I saw those.
Oh my, bro,
When he becomes like super wealthy and then Stan's dad, right? Because
he owns a farm. Yeah, and then he fucking blames the Chinese or some shit. No, he blames the Mexicans. He's like Mexican. Oh fuck.
I forgot
Mexican
that joke.
chupacabras or some shit. Like it's some shit like that. So he like the Mexican Joker. He's like, oh, it's the Mexican Joker. He's the one that's destroying all your crops. Like he gets mad that people are growing their own weed, like in their house and shit.
Yeah, I remember
Bro,
that.
oh man, dude, that shit is funny. Yo,
It
Trey
is.
Parker, Matt Stone are the shit.
It is.
Hell yeah.
It is. See, I haven't watched them, per se South Park episode because I started watching Clark's Farm, right? Clark's, because most of the time now I'm at work, right? So when I'm at work, and I've said this again, and I'll say it over again, when I'm at work, I like to see other people work as well. Just gives me motivation for some reason. So I watch a lot of cricket, but I also watch a lot of shows, like reality shows that have people working. My favorite two so far are Clarkson's Farm. So 3 actually. There are 3 shows that I watch. Clarkson's Farm, which is basically Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear and the Grand Tour. He bought a farm and now he goes through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime, dude. Hilarious. I recommend it. There is Caleb is one of the guys. Without him, the farm would just go to shit. Caleb and then Gerald. Oh my God, yo, you don't understand what the fuck Gerald is saying. You have to watch it. I'm telling you. Like,
all right.
And then the second one that I watch is The Great Escapists. So it's Richard Hammond, again from Top Gear and Grand Tour, with Tori Bellucci, who was on Mythbusters. And then just put them on an inhabited island out in right next to Panama. I think they're called the Paradise Islands or some shit like that. It is hilarious because, like, they figure out how to make electricity. They figure out how to, like, power up shit. They made their own lighthouse. Hilarious. I'm telling you, like,
That's awesome.
You go watch it. Amazing show. And that's what and the third thing is, like, I watch cricket. And I've gotten...
You said cricket twice.
I know. Because I watch it that much. Dude, each match is like 6 hours.
Yeah, you motherfucker said that shit goes on for days. That's bananas.
It is fun as fuck.
That's wild. That's a lot. That's a lot of watching.
No, you know what? Like, somebody told me about how they watch it, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, you go there, you get a book, you get like a case of beer. You're watching a game for 12 hours. You're reading your book, you're having some beer. Nothing really happens, and when it does, it's like amazing. Because like they hit the ball. But I think it's, even though I would say baseball is a harder game. So baseball, in order for you to hit in baseball, it's a lot harder to hit in baseball than to hit in cricket.
That's because you're white.
I know Dominicans have that shit on lock, man. Dominicans are just like pump.
I mean, that's a sport they play a lot, man.
Yeah, it is. But cricket is more technical, and cricket doesn't use gloves. So these motherfuckers are throwing balls. They're hitting balls at 140 kilometers an hour, which is about like 70, 80 miles an hour. And they're catching them with their bare hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I did my research.
Oh, you did your research?
Yeah. Remember when we did the Gold Path episode.
Oh yeah.
But I had to look this shit up. I'm like, oh fuck. Oh yeah.
Like,
that's just tough.
It's so much more technical, and the fact that you play it in like 90, 100 degree weather, and the pitcher has to, dude. The pitcher a lot of times, the bowler has to run. So these motherfuckers are like running back and forth all day long, like, and then they change. Like, it's amazing. I don't know.
You know what game I wish I would have played is hockey. I think of all the games, like all the sports, I would have loved to play hockey.
Why?
Because it looks fun. It's aggressive. It's challenging.
It's fast.
It's fast. You're on skates, which, by the way, I'm like terrified of skates, but I fucking love rollerblades.
There you go.
Yeah. But no, it just looks like a lot of fun. Remember this movie, Airborne? You ever seen Airborne? It's about roller skates. It's an old flick. I think that shit was like mid-90s. It's this guy who's from California who moves to I think Cincinnati. And no, it's a pretty cool movie. It's like
haven't seen
it. Meets these dudes who are like in a hockey team, and then they like rollerblade and shit because it's Ohio, so they play hockey here. You know, he's from California. You know, he's a cool guy. You know, yeah, no, it's a cool flick. No, but hockey's just like fun. You know,
Have you been to a game?
No, I would love to
go.
I would love to go to a fucking game.
We should go.
Was it see the fucking Rangers?
Yeah,
You know,
Rangers, Islanders.
I'm just saying.
Devils.
Just saying. Yeah, New York. Right? Are they New York? Right? They're not Jersey. No, who's the Jersey? The Devils, right?
The Devils. Yeah. No, they're actually New York team.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Not like the Giants and the Jets, who are just New Jersey teams. That's why they don't win.
What the fuck, you guys?
For real. It's like,
When was the last time the fucking New York got a fucking thing?
A while back. Nobody cares though. It's like the Yankees ain't doing good.
I'm trying to be proud of it. Oh, that's true. The Yankees have been holding the torch for a while. What was the last time the Knicks or the Rangers got a fucking trophy? Or the fucking Giants?
Giants was 2012. Giants won
But
every
yeah,
election year. That's how you knew Obama was going to win. By the way.
Fuck
I
up.
kid you not.
You
Why?
said it's a conspiracy.
It is a
Oh
conspiracy.
shit! Yes.
It is a
I'm gonna look
conspiracy.
that shit up.
Like, because, right.
How come they didn't win this time when Biden won?
I said Obama, not Biden.
Oh.
Not Democrat, just one person.
Oh.
I think that was
So they won when Obama won the first time and the second time? Get the fuck outta here. That's fucking hilarious.
So they won the first game. They won it in 2008, February of 2008. That was the year of the election, and that's when everything was going around with the Republicans versus Democrats. Basically, it was the baby version of what we have going on right now, right? So that was the first time they won, and then they won again against the Patriots again. Mind you, that in the first Super Bowl, they won during, like, in the new era, right? Because they won a couple of Super Bowls before that. But under Eli Manning, they won it twice from the Patriots. Both times, the first time the Patriots came undefeated to the Super Bowl. They were 17-0. They were about to have the perfect season. And then one of my favorite people in the whole world, like, as far as like a person, Michael Strahan, gave that fucking speech. And it was hilarious because, first Bruce, there was that wide receiver. By the way, can we talk about how silly and gay, and when I mean gay, homosexual, the game of football could be? When you have positions such as wide receiver, tight end, running back, he runs it back, running back, quarterback, like,
it's all about the back, bro.
Right. What was your profession? I was a wide receiver. If I was a Martian,
those motherfuckers is tough though.
They are tough. Oh, and they always pat each other on the butt.
Yeah, that's a very sportsman thing. I'm like, all right, that's weird, but all right.
No, in football they usually go for. They do
it in basketball. They do it in yeah. That's like that's a popular thing.
To tap somebody's touche. I don't know.
Yeah, I never understood it.
Yeah, I never understood it either.
I don't know.
But I'm sorry if
Is that a bee?
Yeah, I don't. I think it's a hornet. I think that it's very hypocritical for you to be in the NFL, especially in the position of a tight end or a wide receiver, and be a homophobe. That's just.
Then you tell them to go log.
Yeah. Like, that's.
Come on, guys. Let's be more accepting in your fucking environments, you bastards.
You're being a hypocrite. I'm sorry, but like,
man.
So yeah.
As an artist, I've never had the urge to congratulate somebody by smacking them in their ass.
Yeah, me
just
either.
saying.
Me either. Maybe a hug. Yeah, a hug. Like
just
tap
saying,
on the head. But tapping that ass. I don't know.
Bro, you do you, as they say. I don't know. Whatever, man. I support you.
True. Yo, how did we get here? What, Matt? Whatever.
What we're talking about?
I don't know. Chappelle. After Chappelle, we moved on.
Sports. Oh, because when you're watching at your job, you watch cricket.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about other sports.
Yeah.
Then the Rangers. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, listen, that's what I do. So that's why I haven't seen the South Park
So
boys.
to sum up, that's why I haven't seen South Park.
Exactly. Just to tie everything back together.
Holy fuck! Yeah, that's how we do it at the liquor store Blues.
Let's see.
What's next on the list on the agenda? Just when people say, I've encountered this in talking to people that that believe conspiracies, is they say things like, "I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions," and I hear this often.
I'm just asking questions
on videos, because I do like to watch one of the things. I think I've brought it up in one of the earlier episodes. One of my favorite shows is the Atheist Experience, which is basically a call-in show, where people call in and say what they believe and why. And a lot of times, with that and with like conspiracies, people say things like, "Oh, but I'm just asking questions," like, I'm not saying this or I'm not saying that. I'm just asking questions. But it's like, knowing the difference of asking questions and listening to the answer or answers that you get when you ask the questions is very different than just asking the questions to ask questions. In other words, like when like with skepticism, I like to say that I'm a skeptic. That doesn't mean that I am being cynical about things. I'm not saying that I ask questions when somebody answers it. I'm not saying, yeah, but why? But why? But why? You know what I'm saying? It's like I listen to it. If there's an actual answer to it, to the question that I presented, then I'll adjust my point of view and move forward, or grow, as they say.
So those people probably mean that when they say that I'm asking questions, and most likely is they're asking questions to challenge you and not to understand. And funny enough, because that happened to me recently over Facebook, not Facebook, I don't have that shit, Instagram. And you can tell a lot about a man, or you can tell a lot about a person by the questions they ask. So there was this video that went viral, Asian man supposedly harassing blackish kid, right? He was like, "Where's your mask?" Blah blah blah. I have to send it to you, I think. But even if you Google it, you will find it. Like, my roommate's the title is "My roommate's father harasses my boyfriend for not wearing a mask in the dorms," and it's a clip of about a minute. And there's this Asian man yelling in the face of this kid, and then the kid stands up. There's no fight or anything like that. But if you listen to what's going on, and if you actually pay attention to what's going on, the kid asks the roommate, "Hey, are you gonna let your father talk to me like this or treat me like this?" And she goes, "Do you know?" The roommate replies, "Do you know how you guys been treating me lately? I'm not talking to you about any of this," or something along those lines. Which leads me to think that there's a lot more than this 1 minute video clip. And a lot of people are like, blah blah blah. And I had commented on Instagram. I said, oh, and then the kid goes out of nowhere. He's like, you don't know who I am? And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so scared, blah blah blah." And I had commented, I'm like, just judging by what the roommate had to say about the boyfriend and her and the person who was recording that, it means that there is a lot more to the story than we see. And somebody was like, "Well, how do you know this and that?" And I explained. I was like, "Well, if you listen to what she has to say, the fact she says it outright." So the girl whose father was attacking the roommate's boyfriend said, "Do you know how you guys have been treating me lately? I'm not talking about or I'm not helping you," something like that. And it turns out that they were bullying her and harassing her for over a month. And then the dad came in. Now, was what the dad did appropriate? No, because there's a reason to get into that kid's face and to bully him around. But if somebody takes that 1 minute video without any
Out of
backstory,
context, yeah.
without any context,
Yeah, context matters, man.
a lot,
Yeah,
a lot,
bro.
and that's what people don't understand. Like nowadays, it's like context just doesn't exist. It's compliance. You should comply.
There's another one where this all you see, the first video I saw is this is like a traffic light, and there's this intersection, and there's this Lamborghini, just pulls around, pulls around and stops at a red light, and 5 seconds afterwards, a car hits him from behind. And then, the video cuts to this guy in his Lamborghini, like filming this girl walking towards him.
Oh, the one with the Audi. She was with the Audi. She was like, "You see what she did to my car?"
Yeah. Did you see the second video?
What's the second video?
So, from what you saw, what do you conclude from that? She hit him, right?
Yeah.
And it's her fault.
Well, okay. He had made the turn and stopped at the gas station. That's the video that I saw, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then she was making the left and probably did not see him and failed to stop, hit him behind.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she went to him and being like, "Yo, did you just hit me?"
Yeah.
Right? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
There's a video before that one where before she turned, she's just like, she's at a red light, and there's a biker about to go. This motherfucker, the Lamborghini, fucking goes around her and like fucking snips her, like scrapes her car. And then he stopped then he stopped. He hit her, then and almost hit the biker. And then he did that turn, and that's when she went after him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, so
Cool.
That's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Because it's like, yes, the little clip you see, she's clearly at fault, and the way he reacted was like, this is not how it works. You typically, you hit me, but he was fucking bullshitting because he knew what he did.
Gotcha,
this chick is like fucking obviously trying to be like.
No, that's why she rammed him in the back.
Right, because it's like, so like now you look at it in the other context, it's like, that was her new car, and this piece of shit with his Lamborghini, fucking like, clearly he has money, and went and fucking rammed her, because he's not worried about the fucking money. That's where she was going off.
Yep.
So like, that's like, it's fucking context. Oh man.
Yep.
It's and as well, it's but see, like, it kind of ties back to what we're talking about, being skeptical about things, seeing them at face value and then analyzing them. But see, once
you that second video.
Oh, I'll send it to you. Pretty sure you can Google it. You could
I
definitely
actually
find
want
it.
to read what this person said to me, and I'm like, and my reply to them.
Oh yeah.
So-
Yeah. No, I'll find the other one.
Yeah.
But like, once you're presented with new information, you should evolve your ideas, what you were already thinking, to adjust with new evidence. That doesn't mean you plant your feet on the ground and say, "No, I'm not gonna change my mind." It's like, bro, this ain't a fight you're having with somebody. These are ideas. They like fluctuate.
Yeah.
Always. They're always
So
moving.
back in the day, I used to think that, I should stick to an idea. I'm always like flip-flopping. And then now I realize, like, no, that's not flip-flop. That's you changing your mind based on new evidence.
Right.
Like,
It's
before
okay
it was like,
to fucking change your fucking mind.
yeah. Before it was like a lot, what is it called? Before it was a lot more stricter. And like, oh no, if you're a Republican, you should be only Republican, this and that. And it's like, no. All the people have very good ideas. I agree with some of them on the left. I agree with some of them on the right. Usually I agree with the freedoms that the right has or protects, right? Because that's what I was thinking. Like, it's very interesting. I don't know where I was reading this, but
I'm
the
on middle to the left.
the dude and whoever, I think it was Jordan Peterson that on one of the podcasts. But what's going on right now with this pro-vaccine versus anti-vaccination versus, you're fucking up my freedoms, dude. Let's say one thing. The fact that New York State mandated employers to fire unvaccinated nurses is retarded. It's not right, because those were the people who were there the first time. So the first time when there was no vaccine, that's okay. But now, because there's vaccine, they should do it even if they don't want to? No, because listen, my dad was...
But that's the...
Hold on, let me
my bad.
finish.
Go ahead.
Because those nurses have proper, what is it called? Proper personal protection equipment. So during my dad, right? Best example. He's a nurse in a New York City hospital, which was overwhelmed with COVID patients. People dying left and right in his unit, right? Not once did he test positive for COVID. He didn't have... We're talking about over a year plus of him dealing with COVID patients constantly. He doesn't have the antibodies. He did not contract that virus at all. At all. Why? Because he was using proper personal protection equipment. He was wearing the 3M mask. He had the glasses. He had the thing that they put on top of the scrubs, like the gown that they give them.
Yeah.
And guess what? After each shift, he threw it out. He came home. He showered, and not for nothing, but COVID is kind of a weak virus. COVID does not transmit outside. In the second it's hit by UV light, it dies. Right? On top of that,
Is that a fact?
yeah. Oh yeah. Like, for example, if you and I talk outside and you're COVID positive and I'm not, and it's in daylight, the chances of me getting the COVID transmission is they're just super low. Because it's, again, weak virus. Now, I understand why it would be good for him to get vaccinated. That's why he got vaccinated. But I don't understand why, if people are willing to go through the trouble of wearing proper protective equipment, and again, this is only one case that I am hearing about, but that case is very close to me, where this person was there in the midst of it and nothing happened. He didn't even contract the virus, and he was like working with COVID patients that were dying.
Right.
So that's why my struggle is like, okay, you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine, but if you don't, give the people the option. But if you don't want to get the vaccine, you have to wear a mask at work. You have to wear the glasses at work. You have to look to protect yourself to the best of the abilities, and the hospital should provide that for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, or if you have the antibodies, the natural antibodies, right? But to go out there and be like, mandate employers to fire those people, that's just overreaching.
Are they allowed? I'm curious because like if you to become a nurse, did he have to take other vaccines?
Not that I know of. They never made him take the flu shot.
Really? I heard that some places they have to get the flu shot.
No, not in his hospital.
No. Well, there you go. That's interesting. What about other diseases? Like, did he have to take a shot to make sure what is it? The fucking tuberculosis? Any of that stuff?
Tuberculosis is you already should have that.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying things. So like,
I don't know.
That's what I mean. I guess where I'm going with this is like,
yeah, I understand. If there are other vaccines that are mandated on you,
right? So then why is this one any different?
I agree with that, but I don't think that they are. Like, there's certain vaccines that are mandated by.
Because I was under the that's what I'm saying. It's like I was under the assumption, or I am under the assumption that we're already required to be vaccinated for certain things, beginning if you want to go to school. And I would think that working in the medical field, obviously this is a lot closer to you than it is to me. But like, if you work in the medical field, then I understand the reasoning behind why mandating the vaccine. Because if you're working with people that are more at risk, then I understand that the danger is higher. And yes, they have already worked with them.
Yeah, but you can still transmit it even if you're vaccinated.
they've already worked with patients in the past. But I feel like that's kind of a moot point, simply because before we didn't know, like, the effects of it and etc. I mean, we understand the virus better, or at least I should say the scientists understand the virus better now.
We also have better treatments as well.
We have better treatments, right? And one of them being the vaccine, which is why. Yes, you could still transmit the disease even if you have the vaccine, but the point is that you transmitted a lot. Everything goes lower. It's almost like the stats in the games. Like, once you get this upgrade, all your risks go even lower. So, like, in that sense, I understand, like, why it's required. Like, if you're
correct, and as an employer, you can do that. What I have a problem is the state coming in and telling you that those people should be fired. As an employer, you can do whatever you want. So,
but it's a hospital, though.
Again, as an employer.
But it's a hospital.
Hold on. As an employer. It doesn't matter if it's a hospital.
No, it does, though. That's everything. That's everything that matters, is that it's a hospital. It's not like, I feel like the ones with the, like, if you own a deli, you shouldn't be required to have your employees vaccinated. If you own a fucking a restaurant, you shouldn't be required. But it's a hospital. That's where people with, like, the highest risks go.
Again.
And, like, that's
hospitals are private. The employer can mandate that. I have no issues with that. I have no issues if Montefiore says to all of its people, you have to be vaccinated, otherwise you're out. That's okay. The state coming in and mandating to the employer that he should do that.
It's a hospital. Like, I can't. Like,
no,
that's everything, man. Because it's a hospital. That's where, like, when people, like,
dude, people
don't have a choice. It's like, if I'm dying over here, like, at Studio B, and, like, the nearest hospitals are only private businesses that are not requiring their staff to take every precaution, and have to drive, like, three cities down to find a state hospital.
Hold on, it was established. You said every precaution. Proper equipment is also a precaution.
But there's this thing that you can take that will almost guarantee that you will not infect anybody.
No,
that's what the vaccine does. It's not a all cure, but it lowers significantly your risk of transmission.
Not significantly. The best till this day, the best way for you to protect. Hold on. Till this day, the best way for you to protect yourself against COVID is to wear proper personal protection equipment, which means the mask. I think the vaccine lowered by like 5 or 6% transmission. I understand if vaccine like 80%, 90% transmission was gone. Yeah, but it's not that.
Because I don't have these numbers memorized, but I'm gonna
no, we should definitely,
because again we're not experts.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, but my issue is, I understand if the employer mandates it, right?
Yeah, but that's where we don't see eye to eye, because like I said, a hospital is a different, like, it's like the hospital, the freaking jails, like, those are. I hate that those are private institutions. I don't like that those are private institutions. They shouldn't be private institutions, because when you like,
why not?
It's because it's not like choosing a deli where I'm gonna go get my sandwich. It's like, where do I go? My foot is, if I got an infection.
I understand for jails, but for hospitals, why not? Why should, like,
why yes?
Because I'll be honest, why yes? If you go and you take a look between a New York City hospital and then a private hospital, you would very quickly understand where you want to be treated. You would very quickly, dude, you go to New York City owned hospital, and then you go to Montefiore or Presbyterian or any of those private hospitals.
All I'm saying is that they all should have the same level of equipment / care, like, because these are people's lives. These are people, if you get sick, I don't want to fucking have to go shopping for where I'm going to get my care.
Okay.
I just want to go somewhere and get care. Like, I don't want to, like,
So you're saying that all of them should have some sort of a minimum standard. They should obeyed by. That's a different story.
That's right. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Just
Okay.
like, let's all
Correct.
if we agree that it's all in the public's best interest, then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that's not you mandating shit. See, that's where my issue is. And
I know, but
so that's where my issue is, and we'll definitely look up the transmission rate and how vaccines lower how effective vaccines are against transmission, right? But my point is, and this is where it becomes like that shift between what I wanted to say earlier, between European thinking versus American thinking. Now, in American thinking, we are basically saying that every American citizen is born with unalienable rights, right? Rights that were given by God, and the government should never infringe those rights. That's what the American idea is of self-governing. Versus the European idea, where it comes from. Over there, it's a little bit different because, see, over there with mandates like those, most people don't have an issue because they have this. They've been through so many governments and there's so much history that they are kind of okay with the fact that the government can take away certain rights from you as long as you're alive. Right? That happened. That's why the Third Reich happened. That's why, like, if you think about it, like, during Nazi Germany, that's exactly what happened to the Jews. The government just came in and took away all their rights and all their money, like,
oh man,
and then put them into ghettos.
Yeah.
And as a European, and a lot of people, you have to,
okay.
Like, I've met a Holocaust survivor, and she had a lot to say. Very, like, in the beginning, she was very defensive, but then when she figured out, like, us and my grandma, like, she started talking about it.
Extra independent. It's
She started talking about it, and it was very interesting because she was going to Poland to get her reparations, and she had lost all her family in the Holocaust. We're talking about, we met her, I want to say, either 2000 or 2001, and she said that they killed her husband, that they killed her children, that she had nobody. And she was living in America. And she goes, I love this country just because of that, because they think about these inalienable rights that every human being is born with, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your sex is. And versus in Europe, that's, the communists did fucking crazy shit in Bulgaria. Russia is even crazier. Russian people were just not coming home. Dude, fucking Putin now, man. Come on, you go and say shit against Putin, all of a sudden you wake up dead. Like, what?
Oh, man.
Like, that, but see, that's the thing, where it's like, here it's not like that. Here it's like, if I see my government becoming slightly tyrannic,
right.
I'm
being
gonna
like
fight
extra protective.
Yeah, because once those, dude, fucking, perfect example of rights being taken away from American citizens.
The Japanese?
No. Well, that too. That actually was very bad, and nobody said shit about it.
Well, here we are. That was bad.
Very bad, extremely bad. But no, not the Japanese. Oh my God, TSA.
Oh man,
TSA. Yo.
What is it? The
Transportation Safety Agency or some shit? Transport Safety Agency?
Yeah, sounds right.
Like, I am sorry. And I've said that before. First of all, it's ridiculous. They're like, well, what if there's a bomb? I'm like, how many bombs have then been on a plane since they put the towers down?
Man.
Like,
once,
twice?
What was it? The fucking Patriot Act that basically raped everyone's fucking freedoms and shit. Is like, the government was reading emails and shit. Was like fucking. Like, you could just access all of your shit. It's like,
the Pfizer
okay.
court.
Oh man.
And then we're definitely bordering right now on conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, which is again by the way, just because try to be as clear and honest as possible. That don't mean I trust you guys. Yeah, it doesn't mean I trust the fucking government 100%. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. You can't.
I mean, cops, dude, cops. Like,
man.
So, about that thing we're gonna talk about, that incidents that happened in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio. I want to talk about that a little bit because It's very interesting how sometimes the people tasked with having power and having power over ordinary citizens are not really smart or conscientious, or it's like a sticker, like good enough, fuck it. For example,
Is it the best we got?
no, I don't think that the border of entry, or the moat, if you want to say it, I don't think that the moat is big enough. So, for example, one of the best countries with police force that police does not really abuse their rights a lot, besides Germany, right? Because Germany, like, they have police force fucking. Germany, Switzerland, their police force is insane. I mean, they'll punch you in the fucking face, but they're not gonna kill you.
Yeah, please just don't shoot me. Just don't shoot me. That'd be real nice.
Yeah, but
Didn't think that was a request I had to make.
yeah. So there was
fuck.
a guy in Dayton, Ohio, had a run-up with the police. Shit happened. We'll talk about it on the next podcast, and we'll definitely put in the link on the next podcast. But somebody on Twitter, and I'm not very active on Twitter nowadays, besides if I go and like I look at like what the financial institutions have posted, because I like stock picks. So I do search for Michael Burry and what he has to say, which, by the way, brings me to another thing that's quite hilarious. And it has to do with tax the rich, but after this. So there was this incident, and somebody had commented on this incident, like, you know what, maybe you should, what is it called? You should do training of the police, or you should take a page from cops in the UK or Switzerland. And I got very curious. I'm like, okay, what would be the requirement for you to be a police constable in the United Kingdom? Not in London, not in Manchester, in the whole of the United Kingdom. And here's the requirement. It's either 4-year college degree or 3-year apprenticeship training on and off the field. 3 years.
Wow.
NYPD Academy is 6 months.
It's almost as if training works.
Right. Now listen to this. Do you know what's required to become a police officer in Ohio?
Oh my God.
Think about like the minimum requirements.
Oh my God. If you say driver's license, I'm gonna kick. I'm gonna
Oh, a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So no criminal record,
No criminal record, a driver's license.
and a GED.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
And then you have 6 months police academy. Probably in Ohio is like 3 months. I don't know. That's it. Like, how crazy is that?
No previous training.
Nope. None of that.
No psychological shit.
Nope.
Man.
In the UK, if you don't have your 4-year degree, you should they put you 3 years in training on and off the field, which means you probably go take some classes, then you go with the patrolman and you see how they do their job, and then you go back to the classes and you go training and all that for 3 motherfucking years.
Damn.
Before you can even call yourself a cop. Over here, it's like, good enough. Like, next. Like, come on. And on that bombshell, I think we should end.
Yeah. Get some more training, motherfuckers.
Yo, it's been great. 13 episode.
13 episode, bad juju.
Bad juju. I mean, yeah. He forgot the cord. That thing almost, the camera almost stopped.
Yeah, but the show went on, though.
Yeah, show must go on.
Show must always go on.
All right.
All right, bro.
Have a good day.
Órale.
Bye.